Alright, today I'm going to give you guys a detailed look at this Darkseid figure from Mezco, and it comes in a tin box. There it is, and once you open it up, and once you have it open, you're greeted with this instruction pamphlet on piece of paper, and then under the first foam layer, you see a couple of effect pieces. Here's the eye laser type thingy. I'm not sure what it's called. There are two extra face sculpts for Darkseid, and then a couple of hands, and then over there is supposed to be the mother box, and then in the middle it's where the figure is housed, and the second layer is where you have the base, the Darkseid base, with the cape and batteries, and the articulated stand, arm for the stand. Alright, and here we have the Darkseid figure outside the packaging. There it is. And then the accessories again. Here are those hands, the mother box, right there. And then one face with the eye lasers coming out. And then here's another one, generic looking one. Then the smiling one. And the one I have him on right now is the angry, partially damaged face. Alright, first thing you notice when you get this figure out of packaging is that his neck is a little bit long. When he's looking straight, it's a little bit long, but when you tilt his head down a little bit so the chin is closer to the base of the neck, it's a little bit better. It fixes that problem, but if you're looking at it straight on, just out of the box, his neck is going to look a little long. Here you can see from the side, it does look a little long. The front, not so much, but from the side, yeah, you can clearly see it's a little long. And the rest of him, he looks absolutely gorgeous. Heavy figure, because they did use polystone on some of the bits and pieces, but not the whole thing is made out of polystone. I believe the hands are actually not, they are just plastic. Then I think the bulk of the chest, the torso, it's polystone, and then the legs might be as well. Then yeah, there's a good look at it. And let me show you the back first, and then I will inform you some of the issues I have with this figure. One very huge issue I have with this figure. There's the back. Alright, so here's the figure, and the issue I have is with his left knee. This one doesn't have it because I looked through I believe 4 or 5 of them, and only one didn't have this issue. It's right here by the knee section, right here, this bit. Let me see if I can show it to you. Illustration a little better here. This section right here. 4 of them has a crack running all the way across from here to here, and then there's only on the left knee and nothing on the right. So mine's fine on both, but when you're bending the knee of this figure, you are putting pressure on this section a lot, and for it to crack, which is a very serious issue in my opinion. I'm not sure how the integrity of this figure will hold up over time, but if you see where your figure has a crack around the knee, again, the crack runs all the way across from here to here, and if you have that issue, then when you're trying to bend the knee, you will see this section opened up even more. So because you are putting pressure on it when you're bending the knee, so I don't know how that's gonna hold up, like I mentioned before. So if you see it, I highly suggest bring it back to where you got it, or message Mezco to see if they'll give you a replacement or something like that, because this figure is not cheap. It costs $180, and for it to have that issue seems to be pretty serious in my opinion. because over time when you're trying to bend the knee, I'm just worried that you're gonna one day snap the whole knee off. So I don't even bend the knees at all. I don't really even mess with this figure too much because the fact that it's not made out of plastic. It is made out of polystone, and you would figure something like that would last you even longer than plastic. But I think the integrity of the polystone, it's a little more brittle than plastic. So if it cracks, then if you're forcing it, I think you might end up breaking it easier than plastic. So while I'm already here, might as well show you guys the rest of the articulation for this figure. Head is on the ball joint, so 360 movement. The base of the neck looks like, let me pop the head off first. The base of the neck, there is another ball joint, so limited movement right there. And then if you want to turn the lights on for the eyes, bottom right here, there's a little lever. And then if you open up the face, you just pull it, it's magnetized, and there's a little screw you need to undo, and then put the battery. Actually, yeah, you need to put the batteries in here. And then here are the eyes, right here, the eyes. And then the back of this face. Let me zoom in. Alright, I think this is better. Then back of the face, there's a magnet piece right up there. And light piping for the eyes. There's the face. And you just need to pop it in. I would go chin in first, and then pop that sucker back on, and there you have it. And now you go underneath here, flip that switch, and you can see his eyes light up, and you can see red running through his forehead as well with the cracks. Really, really nice. Lower this a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. I think this will illustrate the eyes a little bit better, and if I focus a little bit more, there we go. Now it looks absolutely gorgeous. See how nice those eyes and that forehead looks. And might as well pop the other heads, the other faces on so you guys can see. Here's the generic one, smiling. Really nice. Then here's the non-smiling one. Oh, there you go. I think all three of the faces are, all four of them are nice. Even the ones with the laser eyes. Oh, there we go. Focus. And you kind of see it's kind of is shining through the light piping. So yeah, I think they did a really good job with this. I like it. Alright, so as for the rest of him, see the arms on the hinge joint. So it could rotate. Does hindered by the shoulder pad section a little bit, but it can go 360. And then the elbow, it's a very weak range of motion. The elbows cannot even bend 90 degrees. That's how far I could bend, and that's it. And then the wrists on a ball hinge joint, so full range of motion, but also it's kind of hindered. So range wise it's not that great, but for the wrist I think it's okay. Elbow, it's a little weak. As for the chest, I don't believe there's anything. Yeah, there's nothing around the chest section. The waist, there is a ball joint, so you can kind of rotate them back and forth every which way. And then the belt is a free-flowing piece, and it has a magnet on the back, so you could attach the motherboard on here. And the belt is made out of metal. Focus. There we go. The belt again is made out of metal, and you can attach the motherboard on here. And then as for the legs, I'm not really going to touch it anymore. It is on a ball joint, but it is very limited. Same with the knees, very limited range of motion. And then the ankles are on a ball joint, and I can pivot left and right and forward and back a little bit. Also kind of limited as far as range of motion. Oh, and then I might as well show you the cape. The collar, the shoulder pad section is made out of metal, and so you just need to slide that on here. It doesn't click on or anything like that, it just sits over the shoulder, just like that. So yeah, kind of cool to have Darkseid with the cape on, but yeah, nothing that's attaching this piece to anything. It just sits over the shoulder, and that's it. So the cape is nice. It's exactly the same length as the figure itself, so it doesn't bunch up or anything. It lays very nicely. And there's the back. Alright, and here I got Darkseid with the cape on, just standing around. That's pretty much all you could do with him. You could raise his arm a little bit here and there, but that's about it. I wouldn't go too crazy with it as far as the articulation. And then you could tilt the head like about there, then you wouldn't notice the neck being a little bit long. It's fine this way, and let me rotate him a little so you guys can kind of see the cape again. And it is a rubbery piece that that's attached to the cloth material, so over time, if you bend the cape like this over long periods of time, it might crease, it might even crack, I'm not sure, but yeah, the inner suit is a pleather-like material, so over time, I'm not sure how long this thing will last, especially with the belt that's rubbing the inner suit over and over again. So, I'm not sure how this inner suit's gonna hold up during in about a year or two. Alright, since I don't have Superman out on display at the moment, I will show you what it looks like with the movie Batman here. Here's Darkseid with the movie Batman, and as far as his height, Darkseid is about 8 inches in height, and Batman's about 6.75 inches, so a good inch and a quarter. Yes, 6, 7, yeah, about an inch and a quarter. Height difference between the two figures, and yeah, you can see Darkseid towers over Batman, so he's gonna be the same when he towers over your comic Superman. Now, is this figure worth getting? For $180, it all depends. This is basically the badass figure from DC. I guess it's comparable with Thanos in the Marvel Universe. So, but movie-wise, I'm not sure how this guy's gonna, how DC Warner Brothers gonna do with this character, if the movie comes out or not, with Darkseid in it or not. But as far as the figure, it is nice, but this is pretty much a statue. Range of motion is horrible. The look is amazingly pretty. As far as the material, did they need to use polystone? I don't really think so. I know it gives it a little more heft to it, and on paper it might look great. It might sound great because he does. Darkseid does look a lot like a rock type kind of bulky character, so I could understand why they decided to use polystone, so to give it a little more weight to it, and the feel of a solid structure of a character here. But if they've used plastic, I think it would have saved us a lot more money, them and us a lot more money, because this figure costs $180 and I don't think it's worth it for the price. They could have easily gone with plastic, because they did it with Hulk. Hulk was made out of plastic and it was only a little, I think it was about 125. They could have gone that way and made this figure 140, because it does have lighter feature. I would say about 140 would have been nice, but 180 seems a bit high for this figure, for the size of it. And but if you're a Darkseid fan, then you probably already have this figure. And yeah, so if you're just collecting and you're just an average collector, I wouldn't get this guy. It's a waste of money. I would gone with other figures, because there's a lot more to choose from Mezco than Darkseid here. So there you go. There's the Darkseid figure from Mezco. Thanks for watching.